my light here. I have down a mast. I've got a cradle to cross, and I'm about a quarter mile from the first bridge. Looks like it's high tide and it's slack right now. It's not moving, so I'm making good time through the canal. Coming up, first bridge. All right, I just barely can't touch the ceiling. Coming up to the second bridge. It's called Ball's Farm. This wasn't here last year. Brand new bulkhead. Wooden pilings right here. Looks like the current's starting to run out. Coming up to the last bridge in the Harlow Canal. This is the fastest I've ever done this canal. Ahead of me is the Harlow Creek. Starting to get a little drizzle, so it looks like no moon for me tonight. This old fishing boat's been here for years. We have arrived at the Beaufort Bridge. Checkpoint 1. Seems awful lonely with no one here. Coming in for a landing. Alright, here I am at checkpoint 1. Did you go outside of
I went outside Raccoon, but man,
I went inside of Raccoon. Dog's life. Just got up from a little beach on Harker's Island, and I'm crossing underneath the Harker's Island Bridge, heading through the Straits and into the Course Sound. Beautiful sunrise. Unfortunately, the wind is still blowing. Good morning. This is Dog's Life in the Straits, just north of Harker's Island, heading for Course Sound. Today's plan is to cross the Neuse River to checkpoint 2 and start into the canal. I'm going to be fighting a lot of winds going up the Course Sound. I'm going to try to hug the western shore. Try to limit the amount of waves that I get impacted by. Might have to do a lot of pedaling this morning. Check my Watertribe tracker. Looks like Glenn is in Nelson Bay, heading towards Salters Creek. So he's probably 15 miles or so ahead of me. But then he didn't sleep. Eventually, lack of sleep will play on you. So I'd rather take the rest, take the time, recharge my batteries, get something to eat, and then try to cross the Course Sound during daylight. Another big reason is there's a lot of pound nets through that area that I want to go ahead and avoid and be able to see before I get on top. Dog's Life out. As we're coming around Marshallburg, we'll round up into the Course Sound. I expect to get hit by some pretty big winds. We're off of Bell's Island. We're entering the core sound here. Wind is blowing directly from the direction we need to go to Salters Creek. I'm off of Davis, taking a beating out here, tacking constantly back and forth, trying to work my way up the sound. Ahead of me is the Core Banks Ferry. A little boat takes people. There's some cabins. You can go camping on a Core Banks. Approaching Salters Creek Bridge. About 1:45. About 5 hours to get up Core Sound. On top of that, on my paddle, when I left Harker's Island, just sitting in here, I took bungees in place. I lost my paddle. So if somebody's got a nice Hobie paddle, they can find it floating in the middle of Core Sound. Dog's Life. I'm going to take a little break at Salters Creek boat ramp, and then I'm going to continue checkpoint 2. Dog's Life out. I'm at Salters Creek boat ramp. We're in Salters Creek now, doing barely 2 knots. Current's going against us. It's a very pretty little creek. .4 knots. We're finally coming out of Salters Creek. Starting to catch a little bit of wind. We have entered the old canal, which runs through the middle of a Navy bombing range. We have lots of warning signs. I finally have a little bit of wind behind me. Hadn't had that all day. We are at the end of Cedar Island again. We'll be crossing our track. First entered the Neuse River. Nine miles of this. I feel like I'm in a washing machine. Getting tossed back and forth. Very confused. Got to follow that sailboat to the intercoastal. This western shore of the Neuse River is not very forgiving. It's very low. I didn't see it till I almost was less than a mile up to it. Dog's Life. Sun is going to go down for the second time for Pamlico Challenge. 2 days down, and I'm barely making about a third of the course right now. Sun is going down as I round Bow Point. Alright, we're at checkpoint 2. This is Dog's Life at checkpoint 2. I've made a decision with the north wind blowing straight down the ICW. I could not sail up the intercoastal waterway. Best I could pedal was about a knot. Check the wind for the next 2 or 3 days. It's going to be kind of the same, blowing straight down the ICW. It would take me 2 or 3 days just to get up to checkpoint 3. I'm going to stay over here at checkpoint 2 tonight, and then I'm gonna head back home to Cedar Island. Dog's Life out. Day 3, sunrise on the Pamlico. I'm about halfway between checkpoint 2 and Cedar Island. I'm trying to make the finish at Cedar Island, so at least I can get credit for doing the NCC. So I'm running about 5.5 knots in these following seas. We're just about off the Cedar Island Light. Ahead of us is the ferry terminal and a seawall we have to round. Dog's Life. Up my attempt at the Pamlico Challenge. Extremely disappointed with the progress. Pamlico, I think, is much harder than the Everglades Challenge just because of the complications and the weather. A little bit disappointed with my progress. Can't control the wind. Heading the last mile towards the Cedar Island Ferry Terminal. I am within the NCC timeline, so I hope the chief please mark me down for a NCC. Dog's Life out. I guess the Pelicans are my welcoming committee. Beach looks empty. Everyone has gone home. And we're back. Go ahead and locate my spot.